Years ago, I had the opportunity that while I was going to college, I was substitute teaching at one of the local elementary schools. Now, I enjoyed it because seeing the bright faces of those children, eager and wanting to learn something new every day, it just amazed me. One thing that I remember that stands out in my mind is that I had a young boy that was in the class, and the teacher had left a note and said, "This is a student that you probably want to be aware that he causes a lot of problems in the classroom." And so what I decided to do is that I went in the classroom that day before the students came in. I had read that note, and I made up my mind that instead of approaching this individual, this boy, as someone that was going to be a troublemaker, I decided that what I would do is I would switch the roles, and instead of him expecting to be the troublemaker, I would have him be the hero. Now let me explain what I did in that. You see, what I did is that day when class started, I introduced myself to them. I explained to them that I was going to be their substitute teacher that week, and while I was there, I was going to need a classroom deputy. I explained to them that I would be the sheriff of the classroom, but I needed a deputy to help me keep law and order in that class. And I said, let me just see who I can pick who would be the person that would be the best qualified for that job. So I looked amongst the room and saw the different name tags that were on the desk, and I recognized the name of that young boy, and I called out his name, and I said to him, "How about you? You be my deputy, so if there's something that I see or that I don't get just right, you will help me, and we can keep law and order in the classroom." Well, to the surprise of all the other students, the boys and girls, they started yelling, "No, Mr. Smith, don't do that. No, he causes so much problems. Don't do that." You see, he had been labeled not only by the teacher, not only by those that were in the classroom, but he had been labeled by so many as a troubled student. Probably I was the first one that had ever changed that label for him. And so you might wonder, well, what did he do? Did he get in mischief all during the week? Did I have problems with him? Actually, to the contrary, he listened to all the rules. He did what he's supposed to do, and he was proud at the end of the week that he did not get his name on the board, did not get in trouble. He was excited about that. You see, there was a change, and the change was, instead of me addressing him as what he was doing, I was addressing him as what he could become. You know, the Lord does that. The Lord looks at us and He sees our sinful nature, and the Lord knows that you and I can be redeemed, and because of His redemption, He calls us to that. I believe today, my friends, that we have seen far too many people that we have wrote off. Far too many people that we say they're beyond salvation. Far too many people that we feel like that could never change. But with God, we know they can change. The same Holy Spirit that convicted you to accept Jesus Christ is the same Spirit that can convict the very worst of humanity. Remember, we're all at one point born into sin, but because of Jesus, we have been redeemed through His forgiveness and the hope we have in Him. So today, is there someone that you need to change the label to? Instead of looking at them as a lost cause, someone that maybe that you're a school teacher in your classroom and you think there's no way that that child will ever become successful. Could it be that God has put you in that person's life so that you can say to them, you're not this person, you can be so much better? And it's all because of Christ. You see, I showed the Christian love to that young boy. I showed the attention that he needed. I labeled him and gave him a label that was positive, and he started to live by that. You know, we all need that. And it's so simple to do. This is Pastor Ken Smith encouraging you this week to change those negative labels that you have put on so many people and start looking at them as not what they are or who they are, but look at them of what Christ can do in changing their heart and life. Thank you for watching another edition of Transforming Lives.